We've got a few issues with old Kev here, big old Kev. I mean, they're not massive issues, but they are issues nonetheless that we need to address pretty quickly. I think Kevin got introduced to you last episode where he scored 2 goals in 2 games, was looking pretty good. You can see down here, he still only scored 2 goals, but now in 8 games, so it's not quite so good. Only, to be fair, 5 off the bench. Those appearances, they're a little bit hard to get goals in, but only 2 goals still. That's not the issue, we're scoring goals, that's okay. The issue is, well, let's have a look then. Shall we look at his interaction with him? Our interaction. If we look at the conversation history that we've had with Kevin, it's not great. We'll go back to the first one, which is the 15th of the 9th. Suddenly he's saying here he doesn't think he's going to get a work permit, which means he can't play in England anymore, which I thought was peculiar. So we had a quick look at Kevin. Go into his overview here, go to his information. As it turns out, he's Cameroonian, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. This is the beauty of playing with a lower league database. Some of these things, you're never quite sure if they're true or not. But he's Cameroonian, apparently, which I presume he probably is. Why would Football Manager lie? But it does say he's only been in the United Kingdom, or England, for 1,236 days, and needs to be here for another 589 days before he can get a work permit to be in the UK playing for a football team. Apparently. Now, this is, again, I have no idea if this is true. I presume that Kevin's been in the country long enough to be working and playing football and things like that. He's probably lived a roy's life. I don't know. I don't know Kevin's backstory. Football Manager doesn't know his backstory, but for whatever reason, this is the situation we're in. Either way, what this means is that he next time we offer him a new contract, he won't get one because he's got no international caps. I think Cameroon also outside the top 50 in the world. So he won't get a work permit next time we offer him a contract. So either way, whatever happens, he won't be playing at Lincoln United for much longer because of that. The issue comes that he's getting quite aggy with me right now. He's getting aggy with me because he wants to go on loan to get some playing time to then get a better chance of getting a work permit. So I think what he means by that is, in Football Manager, if you buy a player without a work permit, you can then send them on loan to another club outside of the UK where they would gain EU citizenship quicker to then get EU citizenship and then have the work permit for being an EU player. So, for example, if it took, say it took 5 years to get a work permit in the UK, it may only take 1 year to get the work permit in Greece, for example, plays there for a season, gets the work permit to be in the EU, and then can play all over Europe. So that sort of thing. So I think that's what Kevin is trying to get at here. So he wants to go on loan to a foreign country to get a work permit, which, quite frankly, at this level is not going to happen. So I said to him anyway, that makes sense. We'll sort out a loan move. I couldn't bother to deal with it right then and there. A few days later, he comes back to me and says, I'm disappointed that I've not been loaned out yet. This is a week later that he's not been loaned out. He's disappointed. Can you sort something out yet? I said, please give me a little while longer. He's like, yeah, that's fine, okay. He then came back another week later and says, I'm still disappointed that you've not loaned me out. So it's been 2 weeks since he asked me to loan him out to a foreign club to get a work permit. We've not managed to do that yet, of course. He's come back to me and says that you're doing everything you can right now. I'll drop the issue for now. So for now, Kevin is happy, but I just think that this is going to come back again and again and again. So, Kevin, if you're there, please, just leave it be, please. Just leave me alone. So there we go. That's the issue. There are bigger issues at the club, like our current results at the moment. We've not been playing brilliantly since you were last here. Welcome back to the Lincoln Loco, by the way. I didn't say that right at the start. Welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Hope you're doing well. Since you were last here, things haven't been going great. We'll look at the results very quickly. So last time you were here, we played Radcliffe in the Cup straight after that. Played very well indeed, actually. We conceded 3 goals, but they scored right at the end of the game where we probably just got a bit tired for playing quite a lot of football. We changed formation for this game. We made a new formation, so we'll show you that in a minute. We're playing a 4-3-1-2 formation, so it's a bit narrower. It reduces our reliance on players needed on the left-hand side of the pitch. And it worked pretty well in his first game, at least, against Radcliffe. So a 4-3 win there. We played it against Tadcaster Albion as well, and attacking-wise, it worked very well. Defensively, as you can see by conceding 5 goals, not quite so good. What it has meant, though, this formation that we're now using, the 4-3-1-2, or that we've used in a few games at least, it's meant that Matt Cotton and Connor Robinson have suddenly been bagging in the goals. Matt Cotton and Connor Robinson getting goals in that game. The game before that, Matt Cotton with 2 goals. So finally, these 2 players that had a lot of potential, a lot of promise, I was really expecting some big performances from, they're now finally starting to actually show that now. Because in the first few games of the season, they really underwhelmed me. We bounced back, though, with a 3-2 win. Connor Robinson with a hat-trick in that game. We won that 3-2 in the Liga game. That was the 4-3-1-2 formation we played there. He also got injured in that game, though. He's now out for like 6 weeks, I think, with a twisted ankle or something like that. So we are going to miss him for a little while, but he did get a hat-trick before then, so that's pretty good for him. After that, though, we played Morpeth Town and lost 3-0. So, I mean, swings and roundabouts at the moment. We do seem to be scoring a lot of goals, but then sometimes we can't score goals, and then other times we draw against Pontefract Collieries. So, mixed bag of results. Overall, it's not been brilliant in the league. We won 1 cup game, lost 2 league games, drew 1 league game, and won 1 league game. So not the best results. We would hope for better, I'd think. Hopefully we can rectify that in today's game, although we are playing Morpeth Town today, who currently sit 3rd in the league. To contrast that, we are currently 12th in the league, so it's a bit difficult at the moment. We're down on 12th on 14 points. It's still very, very tight. A win today would take us up to 7th, potentially. But we are starting to fall behind these top sides in the league now. Bryhouse, good 10 points ahead of us. Wisbeach, 8 points ahead of us, 11 games into the season. So that's quite a margin for such a short time into the season. We can, of course, turn that around. We just need to find some form and start playing football, basically. The weekly training reports just come through. And, of course, it's Kevin who's at the top of that. So maybe we'll start him today. Maybe we'll start Kevin today. He's playing on a 7.95. Let's praise him for that, actually. You've been very good with your recent training performances. Well done, big old Kev. He's gone up to suddenly I say well done, he goes up to an 8.15. That's magical. On the other end of the spectrum, Rob Norris on a 4.95. That is poor, Rob. Come on, up your game. Disappointed with the performance of late. Yeah, that's right. I am absolutely right, Rob. You work harder in training. We'll see that change maybe. He's gone up to a 5.25, interestingly. Michael Emery, you're also down there. I mean, I know you watch this, Michael. You've tweeted me a few times about this. Sort yourself out. Otherwise, you're going to be cut from the team if you get more training performances like this. And while you're there, tell Michael Jacklin to book his ideas up as well. Just because he's the best defender in the squad, according to our attributes, doesn't mean that he's going to stay there. Almost forgot as well. We've made one more transfer as well. Another transfer has been made. This time it is on the left-hand side of the pitch. Louis Corrigan comes in from Runcorn Linnets, or whatever they're called. A left-back. We finally have a bit more cover on the left-hand side of the pitch. It frees up a little bit of room now on the left-hand side of the pitch. Gives us a bit more extra depth. It means players on the left-hand side of the pitch can also have a rest for once, because they were absolutely knackered, because they're the only 2 players who've got on the left-hand side of the pitch. They've been knackered, so finally Louis comes in to sort of relieve them of their duties slightly. They can have a rest at least now. It looks pretty decent though. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential at 27 years old. Got some decent stats where they matter as a fullback. Got some very good physicals, I've got to say. As I say, has played at Runcorn Linnets. I'm not sure where they are. I've never heard of them before, but he's played there for a while. Been all over the place, actually. He's coming from more, Tranmere, more Manchester way, Trafford there. Even Colwyn Bay in Wales, to be fair. So he really is an outsider compared to the rest of the squad. So we may see him struggle to break into the friendship groups already made, because everyone seems to be from Lincolnshire. If this guy comes in, can't make friends, well, he's gone. He's been to Australia. He's been all over the place, hasn't he? Been to Australia as well. This guy really is revolutionary here at Lincoln United. Right, well, we've done enough rambling now. We need to get into today's game. So we're going to go for the 4-4-2 today. I think we need to go a little bit more Route 1, counter-attacking style of play against Morpeth. They're flying high in the league so far this season, so we need to be a bit more defensive, I think. This is the new formation that I'd sort of made that was working relatively well against weaker teams in the squad. It's a bit more attacking. I've not really worked out fully. I've just made, it's a custom tactic that I've made. It's not one of those preset ones that I've been using so far. As you can see, the 4-3-1-2. In possession, we're more direct. We work the ball into the box, focus the play through the middle of the pitch, as the formation sort of suggests that we should do. We look to distribute it quickly and counter press, so we can really try and get on the teams as soon as we can when we lose possession. And then when we're out of possession, we want to prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, so they can punt it up to our midfielders and defenders can win the ball. I've also got use tied to marking on there. Perhaps that's a little bit, I don't know, maybe a bit too much to ask for at this kind of level, especially with the lower fitness levels compared to higher leagues and the lower attributes. I don't know, but we're using it right now and it's worked all right so far. Anyway, back to the 4-4-2 that we're going to be using for today's game. So Emery starts in goal as per usual. New boy Corrigan comes into the left back position with Jacklin and Wilson in the centre. Palling, the other new right back that we introduced last episode, he starts at right back obviously. Smith, Norris, Dickinson and Cotton make up the midfield quartet. They're pretty much unchanged, I think. Smith and Cotton are the best players on the pitch on the wing positions. That's quite good. Cotton, I think he's played a lot better in that attacking midfielder role, but he's quite well suited out wide as well. So hopefully we'll see good performance from him today. Kevin comes in, of course, because of his training report. A very good training report there. So we'll give him a start in today's game. And then Paul Grimes is also starting up front. Connor Robinson actually is only 6 days away from full training. So his injury wasn't quite as long. 3 to 6 weeks his injury was. I suppose it's been closer to the 3 weeks. So he should be back relatively soon, but won't play in today's game because he's still a bit too injured. That's the lineup then. I think it's good enough to take on Morpeth today. We'll see if it's good enough to win. I think we've got a pretty solid defence. I'm happy with the defence. It's the midfield that is perhaps a little bit weak. And up front, to be fair, Grimes has scored quite a few goals this season, so I'm happy with him. Kev's quite, he's contributed quite a bit as well. So I think it's midfield. It's where we need to work on next in sort of the January time. But right now, I'm in a good place with the squad. I think we've got enough about us to sort of get that sort of mid-table towards playoff finish. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today. We are the home side. We're in the white kits, Morpeth in the yellow. Hopefully the massive home crowd today will cheer us on. I've not paid much attention actually to what the crowds are. I think Lincoln United will probably be around the 100, 120 mark. I think in real life they get around that 100, 120 or so. When I was there the other day, it was 285 actually, which was the highest league attendance they've had all season. That was pretty good, I've got to say. Hopefully that we're going to put on a show for the fans that are here today, though, as Kevin comes forward on the ball in towards Cotton, who can put the ball over the... Oh, he should have put the ball, I think, into Grimes, and the highlight ends as we're on the attack. So clearly that cross was too bad to see. Whatever Palling was going to try and do with the ball there, it just wasn't going to be good enough. Throw in for Morpeth then in an attacking area. The ball goes in, and... The referee's given them a penalty. Dickens with a foul right on the edge of the area, apparently. He gets away with a warning. But, I mean, they've got a penalty now. They've got a penalty. Number 2 is taking it, which means it's their right back taking the penalty. Hardy to take it. Come on, Michael. Unlucky. That was a very good penalty, I've got to say. Right into the corner. Aaron Hardy's first goal of the season, of course, it was for the bloody right back taking the penalty. Not much Michael could do with that, really. I think it was a very good penalty. But there's a highlight straight from kickoff, which can only mean one thing. And that is potentially a goal for us as we come forward. Dickens on the ball now, not under no pressure at all. Just gives it away to the opposition. Although, again, they've done the exact same thing there. Smith now coming forward down his left-hand side of the pitch. In towards Grimes, who's the top goal scorer at the club. Norris up towards Kevin. Kevin with a beautiful goal there. First time. Takes it first time. His third goal of the season. Equalises things straight away for us. And that is the Kevin that I want to see at every game week. He's also just picked up a yellow card as well, actually. So that's not so good. And actually, one of the games that we played, he came on as a substitute. I think we were 4-3 down in the game. It was a game we lost 5-3. I can't remember, it was 2 now. We were 4-3 down. I brought Kevin on as a substitute, thinking, Kevin, go out there, get the goal. What does he do? He gives away a penalty straight away. They score the penalty, we lose the game. So, I mean, he didn't have a good impact in that game. But today's game, he's had the impact. I like Kevin. I really do like Kevin, actually. I mean, I've seen him play football once. Saw him score a goal in that game. I also saw him, miss a few headers and it hit his back and things like that. And in game, he scored a few goals. He's complained to me about a few things. I just like him. He's a nice guy. He just seems like a nice guy from what I've seen. He's not. He just complains to me. So that's not really that nice, is it? But I can't help but love him. Big old Kev. Hopefully he'll be a hero. Hopefully some way we're going to work around this work permit thing. Or perhaps he won't get the work permit, but then we'll stay in the United Kingdom or something like that. To be fair, that was a good goal from Morpeth. Fair play to them. As I was saying, though, I hope Kev does get his work permit, and sometime in the future we can re-sign him again. Right, well, half-time, 2-1 down. It's not an awful game. We've had more possession, actually. They've had a few more shots than us, and it reflects on the scorelines. We're 2-1 down. Apparently we should sympathise with the team a little bit. You've been unlucky out there. Apparently they seem to gain confidence, actually. They've all reacted very well, actually, the players there, so that's good to see. Hopefully in the second half then, we'll bring it back to 2-2 and then go 3-2 up. That'd be quite nice. Hopefully Kevin will get the next 2 goals as well. We get his hat-trick, that'd be good. Or maybe he'll get sent off because he's on a yellow card, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did. You know what? I think we might change formation to that 4-3-1-2. Just looking around, I mean, Grimes hasn't played particularly well. Smith hasn't played particularly well on the left-hand side. The midfield have played relatively well as of the defence. I reckon we do give it a bit of a change out there. We're 2-1 down at home. We've got the home crowd behind us. We may as well go more attacking and just see what happens, basically. So Cotton will go into that attacking midfield position with Smith. In fact, we'll put Dickens in the middle. Smith's got to come off the pitch, hasn't he? Because he's not a central midfielder. So Andy Toyne will come on for him. Grimes doesn't play particularly well, so we're going to swap him and Kevin around. Kevin can be the poacher on the pitch. And then Hutchinson, who I don't think you've met before. Hutchinson is on the bench at the moment. He can come on as a pressing forward. Hutchinson is a player, I think he's on non-contract terms according to Football Manager. Yeah, he's on non-contract terms. 2.5-star current ability. Got a fair bit of potential, but at 26 years old, probably won't realise it now. Got some good physicals, some decent mentals actually where they matter. Technicals, that's a little bit different, but he's playing as a pressing forward today, and apparently you don't need technicals for that according to this little screen. So fingers crossed he'll get on the pitch today and turn the game around for us. So we'll make those 2 changes, the tactical change as well, and hopefully Morpeth Town will surrender to our attacking force and we'll end up winning the game. To be fair, we have scored quite a few goals playing with this formation. At the same time, though, we have also conceded quite a few goals playing this formation. So we'll see. Right now, though, nothing has changed so far after that formation change. Still no highlights in the second half, which is slightly worrying because it means that we're not having some great chances. Although Dickens swings the corner in towards Palling at the back post, cleared, but only as far as new left back Corrigan. Corrigan plays it back to Jacklin, who should be in the box really, trying to head the ball. Dickens can put the cross back in. It gets blocked, and now here come Morpeth Town on the counter-attack. Somehow they've got 2 men behind our defence, and it goes in the back of the net. So, I mean, okay. Michael Emery actually tweeted me saying that the first 3 games of the season we had were all clean sheets. He tweeted me saying, "Oh look, I've kept more clean sheets in your save than in real life so far." It's clearly Football Manager saw that tweet as well, recognised it, and has decided that he's never going to keep a clean sheet again. Well, unfortunately, it's been another loss in today's game. Although I thought Hutchinson was through there from Kevin's header. It's 3-1 to Morpeth. I mean, it's not great. Morpeth actually are top of the table in real life, which is so obviously they're a decent side. They're doing well here. They've beaten us today. I'm going to go aggressive actually at full time. Far from pleased with that result. A few motivated looking faces out there, which is, it's good, but they don't seem to be doing much about that. They look motivated for a little bit, but then don't execute that in the next game. Well, we stay 13th in the table, which isn't a disaster, but we're on 14 points. We're only 4 points clear of Sheffield in the relegation zone, so it could quickly turn pretty sour for us. Recent results have been great. That's not a great looking schedule there. We've got some decent sides coming up soon. Stamford, we've got Kendall in the Cup. We won the Cup game. We've got Frickley, Bryhouse, Mansfield. Teams that are looking pretty good out there, I've got to say. Next episode, though, is going to be the game against Cleethorpes. That is another local derby, quite a big one. Lincoln v Grimsby is like the big one in League 2. Cleethorpes versus Lincoln United is pretty much the exact same sort of thing, just scaled down. So that should be quite a good game, actually. I'm looking forward to that one. Cleethorpes Town, they're a pretty decent side, actually. Got to the final of the FA Vars a few seasons ago, so played at Wembley. They're a decent side. Hopefully, we'll be better, though. We need to turn this form around. We need to get some more green on the board there, and fingers crossed we can do that in the next few games. Although, playing against teams like Frickley, Bryhouse, and Stamford, it may not happen. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.